Good morning students. In this video we are going to discuss about NEET and KCT level coaching part from the chapter Strategies for Enhancement in Food Production. Subtopics Plant Breeding. Let us discuss about first question. Choose the correct concept for green revolution. Here there are four options. In these four options, let us see which is the correct one. Option A, responsible for meet the national requirements in food production. Option B, helps to export the grains and production of disease resistance varieties. Option C, dependent to a large extent on plant breeding techniques for development of high yielding. So the correct answer for this question is option D, all the above. Students, Green Revolution program is meant for different responsibilities. What is that? Let's see in detail. Traditional farming can only yield a limited biomass, isn't it so? But population is increasing day by day. To supply the sufficient amount of growing population, we should see alternation. Best option. The best option is nothing but plant breeding. So plant breeding involves different kinds of steps. At the same time, there is a movement in 1960s in our India called as Green Revolution. This Green Revolution in India had some concepts. What are those? Responsible for our country to meet national requirements in food production, and also helped us to even to export the grains to other countries, and dependent to a large extent on the plant breeding techniques for development of high yielding and disease resistance varieties in crops like wheat, rice, maize, jowar, etc. So with this, the correct answer is option D, all the above. Hope you understood explanation for this question, students. Now moving to second question. Pick out the correct statement from the given below. Here two statements are given. This is very important way of asking. Statement 1 and statement 2. In these two statements we need to identify the correct statement. Let us see the first statement. Recorded evidence of plant breeding dates back up 5,000 to 10,000 years ago. Statement 2. Plant breeding is the purposeful manipulation of plant species in order to create desired plant types that are better suited for cultivation. So students, here in the given two statements, first statement is wrong. Recorded evidence of plant breeding dates back up to 9,000 to 11,000 years ago. Understand? So here conventional plant breeding has been practiced for thousands of years. Since the beginning of human civilization, recorded evidence of plant breeding dates back to 9,000 to 11,000 years ago. So the correct answer is only B. Nothing but only statement 2 is correct. Statement 1 is incorrect or wrong. Hope you understood this question explanation. Now moving to third question. Name the process of entire collection of seeds and plants having all the diverse alleles for all genes in a given crop. Student, this question is from plant breeding, from the first step of the plant breeding, that is from collection of viability. Let us see options first of all. Option A, gene collection. Option B, germplasm collection. Option C, genetic drift. Option D, gene pool. So the correct answer for this question is option B, germplasm collection. So genetic variability is the root of any breeding program. Remember it. So here scientists, what they are doing, the entire collection doing by them of different plants and seeds having all the diverse alleles for all genes in a given crop. So this technique is called a germplasm collection. This is important for even PU board examination. Define germplasm for 1 mark category. Hope you understood. So the correct answer is option B, germplasm collection. Next, moving to fourth question. In India, agriculture accounts for approximately dash of GDP and employs nearly dash of the population. Find out the A and B from the given. Option A 30%, B 62%. Next option B, A is 33% and B 60%. Option C, A 13% and B 62%. Option D, A 33% and B 62%. So the correct answer for this question is option D, 33% is by A, 62% is by B. So in India, agriculture accounts approximately 32% of total GDP and employs merely 62% of the population. So the correct answer is option D. Next question, students. Choose the crops where the development of several high-yielding varieties occurred in mid-1960s. Option A, wheat and rice. Option B, maize and rice. Option C, soybean and gram. Option D, all the above. So the correct answer for this question is option A. It is nothing but wheat and rice. Understand? So here I would like to bring to your notice one important point, students. In our India, the development of several high-yielding varieties of wheat and rice occurred in the decade of 1960s only. As a result of various plant breeding techniques led to dramatic increase in food production in our country. This achievement is done by a great scientist, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. So with this contribution, he is popularized as father of Green Revolution. Very important, please remember it. Next, sixth question. During the period of 1960 to 2000, wheat production increased from dash, while rice production went up from dash. So let us see options. 11 million tons to 15 million tons and 35 million tons to 55 million tons. Next option. 11 million tons to 75 million tons and 25 million tons to 89.5 million tons. Next option. 11 million tons to 75 million tons and 35 million tons to 89.5 million tons respectively. Next, last option. 11 million tons to 10 million tons and 35 million tons to 89.5 million tons respectively. So the correct answer for this question is option D. It is nothing but 11 million tons to 10 million tons wheat and 35 million tons to 89.5 million tons. It is nothing but rice varieties. So here in our India, especially during the period of 1960 to 2000, wheat production increased from 11 million tons to 75 million tons, while rice production went up from 35 million tons to 89.5 million tons. What a drastic increase can be noticed here after independence, isn't it so? So use a technique, plant breeding technique. Next question. Identify the wheat varieties from the given below. Option A, Jaya and Kalyan Sona. Option B, Sonalika and Ratna. Option C, Sonalika and Kalyan Sona. Option D, Sonalika and Taichung. So the correct answer for this question is option C. It is nothing but Sonalika and Kalyan Sona. So these two are semi-dwarf wheat varieties. A great Nobel awardee named as Norman E. Borlaug at International Center for Wheat and Maize Improved in Mexico developed semi-dwarf wheat. In 1963, several varieties such as Sonalika and Kalyan Sona, which were high yielding and resistant to diseases, were introduced all over the wheat growing belt of India. Understand? So this, hope you understood explanation for this question. Moving to next question. Expand IRRI. Option A, International Rice Recovery Institute. Next one, International Ragi Research Institute. C option. International Rice Research Institute. Option D. Integrated Rice Research Institute. So the correct answer for this question is option C. The full form of IRRI is International Rice Research Institute. It is located in Philippines. Next, find out the location of IRRI. Just now we had a discussion, students. Option A, India. Option B, America. Option C, Philippines. Option D, China. So the correct option for this question is option C, Philippines. Meant for having the Rice Research Institute at international level. Next, choose the better yielding semi-dwarf varieties in India. Option A, Jaya and Ratna. Option B, Kalyan Sona and Sonalika. Option C, Jaya and Sonalika. Option D, all the above. So the correct answer for this question is option B, Kalyan Sona and Sonalika. Kalyan Sona and Sonalika are the best semi-dwarf varieties. Understand? Next, name the sugarcane originally grown in North India. Option A, Sakaram Barberry. Option B, Sakaram Kalyan Sona. Option C, Sakaram Officinarum. Option D, Sakaram Jaya. So the correct answer for this question is option A, Sakaram Barberry. Understand? So here, let me explain this question in detail, students. Sakaram Barberry was originally grown in North India but had poor sugar content and yield. This is the drawback of it. Understand? Next, 12th question. Semi-dwarf rice varieties were derived from dash and dash. Let us see options. Option A, IR66 and Taichung Native 1. Option B, IR8 and Taichung Native 60. Option C, RR88 and Taichung Native 1. Option D, IR8 and Taichung Native 1. So the correct answer for this question is option D, IR8 and Taichung Native 1. Understood? So students, here semi-dwarf rice varieties were derived from IR8, which is located in Philippines, and Taichung Native 1, which is located in Taiwan. Understood? Next, 13th question. Find out the Sakaram Officinarum's characters from the given below. Option A, thicker stems and higher sugar. Option B, thin stems and less sugar. Option C, thicker stems and less sugar. Option D, medium height and medium sugar level. So the correct answer for this question is option A, thicker stems and high sugar content. That is the specialty of Sakaram Officinarum, which is highly growing in India, especially in South Indian regions. Next, 14th question. Taichung Native 1 from the following country. Option A, Sri Lanka. Option B, Taiwan. Option C, Nepal. Option D, Indonesia. It is from Taiwan country, which is meant for growing the semi-dwarf varieties, located at Taiwan. Next, 15th question, last question in this session. Who developed semi-dwarf varieties of wheat and maize? Improved in Mexico. Let's see options. First option, Norman E. Borlaug. Option B, M.S. Swaminathan. Option C, Aryabhatta. Option D, Charaka. So the correct option for this question is option A, Norman E. Borlaug. He is a Nobel awardee and he developed semi-dwarf varieties in wheat and rice also at International Center for Wheat and Maize Improvement in Mexico country. Students, with this I conclude this video. In next video we will discuss another concept. Thank you one and all.